gap in the hills to the north of the ridge, a grave so cold and alone. Just one word, one solitary word, mother carved in the stone. She's all that remains from those iron furnace days when dozens lived in that place. It's all long gone, time has moved on, and the forest has taken her grave. Forgotten except by the land, only shadows where people did stand. Whatever was wrong in a time so far gone, forgotten except by the land. The Liberty Furnace was built on the north side of Montour Ridge around 1839, and it's kind of a really unique furnace in the sense that it was charcoal in the early days, which is pretty rare for Danville. Most of Danville's iron furnaces were famous for being among the first to use anthracite coal. But also it only ran for a few years, and eventually by the 1840s I can't find any records that it still operated. So we led an expedition out to try and explore the site and see what was left of the community of Liberty. One of the first things we found was a miner's wedge or a miner's pick. These are really neat. I've only ever seen a few in local museums. And miners would pound them into the cracks between the ore and try and wedge it loose.
Hello, today we are at the Liberty Iron Furnace. We've been around here for a few hours or so, and we found many structures. We've brought a metal detector, and we found a belt buckle that was buried. We also found some other cool stuff. We found an oil lamp, iron bar. Around 1830, 1840 was the town of Liberty. The iron furnace was here, and this was the town, and there was houses all over, and it was the town. After the iron furnace, there was a scout camp that was here, and that's how it's a little bit hard to figure out if the things you find are from the scout camp or they're from the 1830s when the Liberty Iron Furnace was here. But yeah, so it's pretty hard to figure that out. But and there's also some structures mixed in that are actually just the scouts that made them. So yeah.
So how do you know this is where the furnace was?
There's slag and coal and stuff all over. There's everywhere. It's just, yeah.
So let's see part of the scout camp here. What did you guys find from the scout era?
Here we found
an old digging shovel. Where's that piece of metal?
Back there.
That's cool.
Farther out in the fields, underneath tractor wheels, lie the ashes of the old migrant camp. In the spring and the fall, they'd come working for all and leave with pennies in hand. Now there's not much today left from those days, just the shell of the old social hall. And sometimes at night, when the wind is just right, I swear I've heard that old banjo call. Forgotten except by the land, only shadows where people did stand. Whatever was wrong in a time so far gone, forgotten except by the land. Well, long before there were words like Montour, this place still had her names. From the Mahoning to the Chillisquaque, the ridge remains the same. On the hunter's path, or just following Shad, there were thousands who once called this home. When I walk this land and pick up flint in my hand, I can hear that old ancient tone. Forgotten except by the land, only shadows where people did stand. Whatever was wrong
in a time so far gone, forgotten except by the land. Whatever was wrong in a time so far gone, forgotten except by the land.